All right, changing strings with me, John Kelly. This is my little trick. I came up with this. You just use a 9-volt battery just to get you string length here. All the string lengths are all going to be consistent.
Prosecutors say the 32-year-old assistant ended the relationship on Monday, and then on Wednesday, after losing his job, Moore went to his former mistress's apartment, broke in, and grabbed butter knives and kitchen scissors. Prosecutors say Moore eventually left when his ex-lover threatened to call the police, who also received a call from Moore's wife. Kim Charles says his cancer treatment will be reduced in the new year because of early diagnosis, effective intervention, and adherence to doctor's orders.
9-volt battery doesn't stay in place. It just gives me string length there.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the cost of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes, and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Our plans start at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hey everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That's all good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They can be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments, moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all
Yeah.
because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agreed. So let's take a moment and make a moment today. Call 8774-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. For us to send you a department call,
Muscle this shit on.
think slow. Here's something to think about from the Alzheimer's Association. New research shows that regular exercise and a heart-healthy diet may reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Visit the Alzheimer's Association today at alz.org for more ways to maintain your brain. alz.org. Thinking ahead today might make all the difference tomorrow.
I don't know why my son was ruining himself with alcohol. If someone's just breaking your heart, I would advise that you learning at Al-Anon Sensitive. People just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
I was injured in a car accident in Marcella.
It was serious. Chelsea needed shoulder surgery.
The insurance company's offer didn't even cover my surgery.
They wanted to pay nickels, but by the time we were done, they paid every last dollar.
Perfect.
Great deal.
I've been a personal injury attorney for over 30 years and was a licensed insurance agent for a $10 billion insurance company. I know how to get the offer you deserve. Individual results vary. Call 344-3434 and get the offer from Sling Lumber. The free iHeartRadio app is the #1 app for the holidays. The amazing iHeartRadio.
What these string through bodies are a little bit different than your traditional guitar.
Small business, as we shift is coming, it's time to get super short.
What's happening?
However, the main thing is just to get the strings on before you do anything else. That's it. That's all I've been told. Last 20 years I've been doing just that. It's actually kind of a cool trick. I came up with that. Hope you learned something new. That's all we're trying to do here, help people out and learn things.
The boys are 17 and 15 now. They don't care about Christmas lights, all right? And Bob is still insisting that when we find a place that has a lot of Christmas lights, that we take the boys to go see Christmas lights. Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about. And now we're at this place where the boys, you know, they're starting to become little men. You'll get little attitude pop up here or there. Obviously, it's kept in check in our house, but they're human beings. They're going to sprout their wings a little bit. Now they're starting to give me the side eye as soon as she suggests it. And then I'm stuck in an impossible situation. Because I don't want to go see any stupid Christmas lights either. But she wants to. We want to do something nice for her. So I have to kind of walk a tightrope. You see, everybody's got problems. Jesse. The subject of this one is indecent picture scammers. Just a heads up, I brought up a story on Tuesday. A young man.
I don't do any type of fancy wraps. You really don't need to. Not with these peg tuners. But if you're working in a shop doing something professional, it's almost required to do some fancy luthier knot or something like that. This is simply my personal instrument. I really don't care. I've been doing this for 20-something years. I ain't never once lost a string. Not intentionally, anyways.
And then pulled my boys aside when I got home and talked to them about it extensively because I want parents to know. And if you're a kid listening, I know we have kids listening, I want you to know. Today, because of the advancements in technology, you don't have any idea who you're talking to online. No, but I saw her picture.
These peg tuners from Stu Mac are kind of cool.
Video called. Yeah, that's fake too. They can do all that stuff now. Fake voice, fake everything. It's all fake. It's all fake. And it'll feel real.
They're supposed to be auto-locking or some shit.
Thank you so much for exposing the story on the inappropriate picture extortion on the show Tuesday. As the father of a son who fell victim to it, I appreciate you making other parents aware of this horrible scheme. These demons do exist, and they don't care one bit what your child might do to themselves as a result of this evil. I would like to add, as a parent, please pay attention and notice when things are off with your kids. I found out about it because my son came to me and asked for his social security number. I thought this was odd, that he was 15 at the time. I was eventually able to pull out what happened from him. From there, we resolved it, but it was terrifying for him and his mother and I. I am blessed to have been able to give him the support he needed, and now we are all wiser, but it could have been much worse. Thank you for being a guide for other families. I'm not a guide. I'm just a dad just like you are. Well, no guide, no role model, no guide. Just, I'll tell you something. I want to reinforce this because I brought it up again with my boys when I pulled them aside and discussed this. Make sure your kids know if you do screw up, somehow, some way, there will be no judgment if you come to them. We will figure it out together. You'll be embarrassed. You'll be mortified. And I said, it doesn't have to be, bad pictures or something like that. I don't care if it's gambling, whatever it is. We've told our kids this. Now, by the grace of God, our kids are not
boozers or anything like that, right? But you never know. They're young men that could get into that tomorrow. Could get into it tonight. For all I know, there's all kinds of temptation out there. We've told them. You're ever at a place, don't ever get in the car with somebody. No judgment. There'll be no grounding. There'll be no nothing. You call. We'll come pick you up. No questions asked. Get you out of it. All right? So when it comes to this stuff, remind your kids that they can come to you. Drive that point home. If you read these stories, a big thing of what pushes these kids over the edge is they don't feel like there's anyone they can talk to. Now I can't go tell mom. I can't go tell dad. He'll kill me. My school is going to expel me. My life is over. And remember, the bad guys specialize in twisting those screws. Yeah, your life is over. I'll destroy you. Everyone's going to hate you. And so pushes them too far. Make sure they know now. Hey, Jesse, what is the real reason immigrants hate America? Okay, well, first of all, Pop, you know my thoughts on illegal immigration. You know my thoughts. I don't have to clarify them, but all immigrants do not hate America. That is not true. Depending on where they're from, depending on a few different things, immigrants can be some extremely patriotic people. Cubans might be the most hardcore Americans there are. I love Cuba. It's that way. But in general, clearly have a loyalty problem with the
If you guys know some cooler locking stuff where I don't have to twist anything on the bottom, I'd like to know. Other than that, I'm thinking about buying some regular tuners or another guitar and taking the tuners off of them is usually what I like to do. Buy another instrument, take the parts off of it. I used to do that with new cars. Next thing you know, my old car becomes a new car with all the old parts on the new car.
freaking tragic, and it happens all the time. Heart attack, dead. Out of nowhere in the shower. Out of nowhere. Kids are already out of the house, and boom, this lady is a widow. All right, she's a widow. Widows need to be careful, right? One of my good friends in the area, he is her next door neighbor, lives right next door. And so he started doing really so much for her when it came to work around the house, changing light bulbs, whatever. But one thing he would do religiously is he would mow her lawn every single Saturday. Mow her lawn every single Saturday. He did it, I'm going to guess on the time, 6 months to a year. Every Saturday, her husband used to do it, wanted to make sure she had a nice looking lawn, so at least she didn't have to worry about that. Wonderful thing to do, right? He used to live in California, goes back to California, I forget, it was some kind of family event, family reunion or something like that, and he goes for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. When he gets back home from California after 2 weeks, before his bags are unpacked, she is pounding on his front door.
Where'd my battery go? There it is.
Is everything okay? She's not afraid. And she's not sad. She is angry. And she chews him out. Look at my lawn. Look at the condition. But keep in mind, he's never accepted a dime. Nothing. After 6 months to a year, not only is she not appreciative anymore, she feels completely entitled to it. Completely. Now, I know your blood pressure's probably already up. Jewish producer Chris looks like he's ready to punch somebody in the face over the whole thing. But this is a human nature thing where you do something nice for somebody. Eventually they get used to it. And then they feel entitled.
The battery trick's pretty cool.
Stop doing it, they'll hate you for it. Even the threat of you stopping
Some might find it a pain in the ass. I find it, it's my own technique. I find it pretty cool and handy.
come here and get elected to office and trash
You end up putting too much string on there and not enough string. This kind of keeps everything pretty consistent.
immigration policy has been so open borders, so suicidal, so insane for so long that the truth is millions and millions and millions of foreigners across the globe, they feel entitled to come here. The very idea that they would not be allowed to come here is offensive to them. And then once they get here, they're not grateful to be here. Where's my next meal? I remember it like it was yesterday under the Biden administration. They were bringing in a bunch of people from El Salvador and stuffing them in hotels in New York City. And they started freaking out. The illegals who just got here freaking out because there was not authentic El Salvadorian cuisine for them to eat after violating our immigration laws. They didn't walk into the country and bend down and kiss the ground and say, finally, America, I can't wait to serve this country. They came strolling in, having not earned it, having not paid for it at all, and said, what's this crappy food? Give me my pupusas. That's why. They don't appreciate it because we hand it out. That's why. Well, I love Pure Talk because they hire Americans. I'm sick of these gigantic corporations that hire foreigners to work in customer service. I'm so tired of repeating myself on the phone with customer service. I'm so tired of having to have them repeat themselves 10 times because of the broken English they're trying to spittle into the phone. That drives me insane. You get a hold of Pure Talk, it's almost weird. When you dial pound 250 and say Jesse Kelly, you will speak to an American who speaks English. And honestly, what's better? They're nice. Actually, pleasant. It's almost like they want to help you solve problems, answer questions. It's bonkers, I know. But that's what happens when your CEO was Mac Sog in Vietnam for 2 tours. You tend to lean towards patriotism. Switch your cell phone service. Pound 250, say Jesse Kelly. We'll be back.
The Jesse Kelly Show.
I like it.
Returns next.
And there you have it. Strings are done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocate is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9871. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what
That's it. The only funny thing I got is that G, but I don't care. It ain't gonna do anything. And if it does, I got about 50 to 100 other strings around here I can change them out with over there.